Sure, thank you. President Joe Biden wants to make sure that all Americans stay safe this holiday and protect themselves against COVID. Yesterday, he announced that he would deliver 500 million free at-home COVID tests to Americans, and he's hoping it will make the kits more accessible and help stop the spread of COVID. And joining us this morning to talk more about it is Dr. Todd Husty. He is now the medical director at the Maitland Fire Department. Good to see you. How are you, Dr. Husty?
I'm doing great, but I'm so sorry I get to talk with you again. I love it, but oh boy, it's disappointing.
Here we go again, right? And it's one of those things where I think, most of America, and we've talked about this before, everyone just feels sort of over it, right? And that's not a good way to go into the holidays because it's spreading like crazy.
It is spreading like crazy. I was on my statewide call that turns into a national call just yesterday morning, and these are experts that don't have a political bend to them. They're EMS people and virologists, and it was all doom and gloom. I don't like that before the holidays, but it is reality. There is going to be a spike. We are spiking already, and it's going to keep spiking, and we need to do some things about that. They're predicting this spike could be the worst one yet.
So let's talk about comparing it to Delta. Obviously, Delta was horrible. We saw a lot of deaths. We saw a lot of hospitalizations. We saw a lot of people with lung issues. We're not seeing the same types of side effects with Omicron that we saw with Delta. Could that be the glimmer of hope?
Well, the experts yesterday that I listened to were saying, no, we need to stop thinking that way, because what's happened is there's been so many breakthrough cases with people who are vaccinated or have had previous illness that they have more minor illness when they get it. So there's so many of those that it gives the impression that Omicron is not as bad as Delta. They said for the unvaccinated, no, it is just as bad as Delta. It's just more communicable. So the real take-home message is it could be bad for anybody, but for the unvaccinated, it is definitely going to be as bad as Delta.
And because it spreads so much more quickly, I was reading one doctor was saying that you can anticipate that anyone who's unvaccinated will likely get this version of it. Are you hearing that?
Yeah, so Delta was, 4 to 5 times more communicable than its predecessors. This is 2 to 3 times more communicable than Delta. I mean, this thing is it just jumps from person to person. So, I mean, one of my own family members who has had COVID and it was fully vaccinated got a mild case of Omicron. So, I mean, it just jumps. It doesn't mean that just because you can get Omicron being vaccinated, that doesn't mean you shouldn't get vaccinated. It means that you can make the symptoms milder. And we really need to talk about those home tests. I'm glad about that, but I got a little problem.
Okay, tell me what your issues are with these home tests.
So they don't do a great job in people who are asymptomatic. They're about 85%. They're about 85% accurate. The more symptoms you have, the more accurate it is, because this doesn't multiply the material in your body like the PCR tests do. That multiplies it so they can test smaller amounts. So using it and going, oh, I've got a negative test, I feel good, so I'm fine. And you may not, about 15% of the time that could be wrong. So this is really to be used for people who have the sniffles. They're trying to figure out, do I have sniffles from COVID? Do I have sniffles from something else? And in that instance, the more symptoms you have, the more accurate it is. And I think the bottom line is if you feel sick, you shouldn't be going out and hanging out with other people at all.
Right.
And yeah, there you go.
Well, let's talk about, because a lot of these people are lined up, with these different testing sites. Are the tests that they're getting at those sites different from the at-home tests, or the ones that you get when you drive up to the Walgreens? Are those different? And how does that work?
So yeah, when you actually get the deep dive nasal test, the PCR test, those are highly, highly accurate. They take a little while. I know the Seminole County Health Department has yet another test that is sort of on the right there as you wait test that is probably as good as the PCR test, but they're not the simple home tests that look more like a pregnancy test that the Binax now and others are. They're good tests, but they're just 15% inaccurate, especially if you have mild disease.
So what do you want people to know before Christmas Day? We heard the president come out and say, it's okay to go ahead and spend, Christmas with your family as long as you're vaccinated and you take the precautions. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I think, I've been asking around, we're having our family get together. Everybody's vaccinated. I want to make sure that everybody that can gets their boosters, because the third shot, booster shot is really important for this. It does help decrease the spread. I want to make sure that we all know that we're going to, if anybody's sick, you don't show up. I mean, even if you feel a little sick, sorry, you can't, I'm sorry this year, you can't do it. Sort of like last year. So we did this last year very successfully. We're going to basically repeat what we did last year, and it worked pretty well. We did wear masks indoors. I know that that's kind of weird, but we also did a lot outdoors. It's going to be nice weather from what I understand. We're going to spend more time outdoors than indoors.
Yeah, gosh, so thankful we live in Florida and not Vermont or Wisconsin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We can leave the doors and windows open. Dr. Husty, thank you so much. Great advice for everybody. We always appreciate you, and Merry Christmas, my friend.